as well. But the next logical question, John, if we are going to say that our goal is the business world, is, well, what kinds of business career fields are available? I know I ended up the sales route, which, talk about stretching yourself. That was a stretch for me as an armor officer going that way. So could you elaborate a little bit on the different pathways that are available to the transitioning military officer?
Absolutely. Well, there's many. I mean, and that's what's so exciting, right? I mean, you can pick whatever lane you want. I mean, there are jobs out there that are, 8 to 5, 9 to 5 kind of jobs, and you can kind of take your foot off the gas. There are jobs that are much more high potential, much more fast paced. The first question I would tell you right off the bat is, do you want to be a generalist or a specialist? Hey, I want to go into cybersecurity. That's my lane. That's what I want to do. I don't care about leading. I just want to go into cybersecurity. I can tell you our expertise with Alliance is we work specifically with what we call high potential opportunities. And these are, if you want to, think about the difference between a warrant officer versus a commissioned officer, the kind of roles that are growable and developmental. And as you develop in the business world and you truly become a senior leader, you're going to be cross-functional. It's not like, Derek, you were an armor officer and I'm going to be stuck as an armor officer for X number of years. Eventually, when you become a senior leader, you're going to manage and lead multiple function areas. But for us, in dealing with senior executives, if we've heard this once, we've heard this 1,000 times. I don't care what this junior military officer did in the military. Give me somebody with leadership, character, and drive. And if I can have those things, those skills, I can teach in my industry. But it's really, really hard to teach somebody leadership, character, and drive. So I would break down the types of opportunities into 3 big buckets. The first would be what we call technical leadership skills. Okay, skills that require, maybe an engineering degree or maybe a service academy graduate that had to fight through all those science classes and those math classes, but somebody that has maybe not, a design engineer or something like that, but has the technical competency where they can lead people. The second is kind of your path, Derek, sales leading to management. Again, a lot of people have this negative connotation to sales. I bought my car from a sleazy salesperson. Oh, I'm getting hit up by this insurance salesperson. Well, this is very different. We're talking about high-end relationship, business-to-business selling, like your experience, Derek, which, we'll probably give you a chance to talk more about in the medical side, in other places, but sales leading to management. And then the third, which is a huge umbrella, is what we'd call just general operations management, opportunities that are maybe in manufacturing, general manager tracks, and so forth. So those are 3 broad areas, but let me put a little bit more, be a little more specific, okay, to kind of help out folks that are sitting back there and say, what does all that mean? Technical leadership role. All right. True example. We work with the largest steel company in North America. Years ago, they came to us and they said, gosh, we would really love to see a metallurgist come through your pipeline. Do you have any metallurgists? And we said, we're sorry. Metallurgists are pretty rare in our world. But if you're looking for a leader, come talk to us. And finally, they realized, and they said, you know what? We can teach a leader how to make steel a whole lot easier than we can make a metallurgist be a leader. And so that particular company has hired folks for all types of roles, ultimately designed to become a leader. In fact, the very first candidate that we ever placed in this particular company, 7 or 8 years later, was managing, a $200 million division and making probably close to 7 digits a year. Okay, basically running an autonomous business unit, starting out as a leader. Again, this particular individual wasn't a hard engineer, was a West Point graduate, but had that technical degree. And that is what we're talking about as a technical leader, somebody that has technical competency, but also great leadership skills. A lot of different roles in that capacity. Sales leading to management. There's a company that I know everybody's familiar with that we work with very well, and for many years, Johnson & Johnson. Some of you may be aware that the CEO of Johnson & Johnson is a West Point graduate, Alex Gorsky, who has done an amazing job leading one of the greatest companies in the world. Alex Gorsky started out in a sales role. The kind of roles that we work with within Johnson & Johnson are medical device opportunities, very similar to the role that the CEO worked at. But these are roles that you have to come in there, and obviously you have to be an individual producer first. But once you're an individual producer, they need you to be a leader. Okay, so med device opportunities, we have technical sales opportunities, but a lot of roles that require high-end relationship selling skills. And then third, operations. And again, this can cover so many different options, so many different areas, but I'll give you an example of one, a company you've probably never heard of, a national company, a multi-billion-dollar a year company that has close to 500 different profit centers all across the country. They have a program that is designed to take a junior military officer and get them spun up and basically give them what I call a real world MBA. Teach them how to learn the nuts and bolts of how to run a multi-million-dollar business, everything from financials to sales to inventory management, managing people. And after a 3-year program where you're going to be paid, competitively, they're going to turn you over and give you the keys to running a multi-million-dollar profit center. And not that, we like to talk, we'll talk a little bit about compensation, a good lead in, but the average compensation for profit center in this particular company, the average, okay, and most of the, thankfully, the candidates we work with, they're not average, was a little over $260,000 last year. So that's the kind of roles that we're talking about. So it's across the board. The common thread with whether it's technical leadership, whether it's sales leading to management, whether it's an operational management role, is that leadership aspect. To go in there, you're going to have to learn an industry, you're going to have to contribute, but that's what we're talking about. So there are definitely some great jobs that are out there. And, whatever your source of commissioning, the first time you put on a uniform to the last day you take it off, you have been developing that leadership, that character and drive, which, like I said, is in great demand in the business world.